All right. Hey, what's up, Uncivil Revolt? BMAC is back on Skype, and another great interview lined up with this young woman that is on my screen here. You know, when you're a kid, you're supposed to be scared of witches, but after hearing this group burning witches, it just makes me want them to throw me into the fiery pits and join their coven, as it were.
Cool.
They are getting ready to put out their fourth album, Witch of the North, and we're very excited. I just heard a single off there already. We'll talk about that later, and we'll find out why burning witches should matter, especially on Nuclear Blast. So please help me welcome the head witch who would kick Glinda's ass big time with not only her looks but her powerful voice, Laura Gludmond. Did I say it correctly?
If you want to do it in Dutch, Guldemond, but it is the English pronunciation is fine. So yes, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well, Laura, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Are you surviving during this pandemic?
Yes, I mean it's weird because life gets such a drag because all the fun things are not there. You can't party with friends, and yeah, it's sometimes you need that, but it's just not there. And every time I'm actually doing finally something with my band. So okay, it was recording, and then we did a video clip, and we're going to do another video clip, and we're going to actually do a live stream for the release date. So that's cool. So yeah, I'm really always looking forward to those things. And normally you just also have the gigs, and they kind of are the things that I live for, kind of. And now it's fun. I can do things like nail art. I can actually show because it's a video. So I did this myself because I finally have time to do stupid hobbies I never have time for. So yeah,
You
it's
and
fun, but
you and everybody else has plenty of time now to do the
yeah.
hobbies that you always wanted to start. You start, but then kind of like put in the back burner and then start up again.
Yeah, exactly. I did this like 5 years ago, and then I kind of failed at it because I didn't have a good curing lamp. Basically, I was like, the only thing I need is a better lamp. Let's just do it, So now it works.
Yeah. So, Laura, you are actually the second singer for Burning Witches, but to your knowledge, do you know where the name Burning Witches came from?
Yeah, it's. I mean, they were just looking for a good name, and they were kind of in between. They had different options, but to be honest, I don't know the options. I kind of forgot about them. But they just really like that this is. It sounds super old school, and it really says that we're an all-female metal band. So it has everything in there. So that's why eventually this one was chosen. I'm not really sure how they came up with the name with this particular ID though, but
Huh.
it fits. So that's what I know. That they had some options that didn't really fit to the they were too girly sometimes or not cool enough, and this one was just perfect.
Well, I'm glad they found the perfect one.
Yeah, there was something with dolls, and they were like, no.
So, a little background on you. You actually used to do vocal work for both Shadow Rise, Epic Rock, Choir, and the list could go on and on. How did you
Yeah.
come to join these girls?
Yeah, it was actually because I knew I have a lot on my social media. So actually, one of the band members saw, hey, there's actually a girl that kind of looks like it already a little bit. The closing style was pretty close to what they did,
Hmm.
and there was a cover online, "Touch of Evil" from Judas Priest. So they really also loved that, and they were like, "Hey, it kind of sounds like and looks like she could be the girl that fits with us." And I already knew Sonia a little bit, and she knew me a little bit. So it's always nice if there's already a little bit of a connection, right? So they were like, "Yeah, we definitely want to have her come over for audition." And yeah, everyone, it's always. If you don't know someone, you just have to figure out if that person fits the band, I don't think they got a good first impression though, because I was super nervous. But eventually, I made it. So
Well, that's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
So, what was your overall first impression of the group when you first were introduced to them, either as a
Oh,
fan or as a singer?
yeah. To be honest, first impressions. Okay. Um, I think that my first impression was that they're well organized because they have so many people that they work together with to get everything done. And I know that it's difficult if you just have your own band to do everything. It's just difficult. You kind of need people, and I know they have people around them that do a lot for them and for me now too, of course. So at that moment, I was like, whoa, there's actually a cool team going on here. So that was one of my impressions. And the other one, I could kind of see that everyone was kind of stressed because they needed a singer quickly, um, because the festival season was coming, and when the previous one quit, she kind of was okay with helping out, but they were like, yeah, but they're the big festivals. We want to be on stage with the singer that will actually stay with us. So this was the philosophy, behind having a bit this pressure. And yeah, I had to do everything pretty fast also. But oh, it's all okay in the end, but it was pretty heavy to do it so
Well,
fast.
well, looking back at the festival performance that you did when you were first introduced to the world out there, what was the overall impression from the fans when they first heard you?
Yeah, it was funny because actually,
And I only ask because sometimes when you get a new singer in, sometimes you have that split between fans who like the original, and there are other ones that are
yeah.
open to the new one, and they like both. Kind of like with Van Halen, they one side was David Lee Roth, the other side was Sammy Hagar, and there are others that like them both. And I was one of those that liked them both.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean that's exactly right. What happened to me basically. It was also really funny because there was one interviewer or reviewer actually that saw the concert, and he thought I was Serena. So that was kind of funny. But it was funny also because he already saw them perform with Serena before, and we look a little bit alike, I guess. So, but yeah, it was still pretty funny to me. Um, so anyway, some people like it less, some people like it more, indeed. But the overall feeling is that yeah, I got a very positive um, welcome.
Well, that's always good. You always want that first impression to
Yeah.
be a good one from the fans.
Yeah. I mean, you also hear some of the stories, especially with the Nightwish singers. It has been a bit of a struggle to find the fan acceptance, and yeah, I didn't feel like it's a struggle. I feel like there are just some people, but yeah, that's of course, because I'm not having the same voice. I am doing the same tricks maybe a little bit because that's what I want to. Um, I want Burning Witches to keep having their music style. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
kind of try to of course to change my style a little bit more towards what they do, actually a lot more, because I was not singing that distorted at that moment in Shadow Rise, for example. Um, but yeah, that's okay. And yeah, it's that yeah, everyone has their own taste.
that's good. Well,
Yeah.
let's move on to the real topic of this interview, which is your upcoming fourth album of the group and your
Yes.
second overall, The Witch of the North. Tell us a little bit about this album and what the process was like compared to
Yeah.
2020's.
Yeah, well, we actually wanted to tour, of course, with the previous album, but yeah, then we couldn't, so we had all the time to focus on it. It was different with Dance with the Devil. We kind of had a gig somewhere, sometimes in between, and then you kind of get out of the writing process, and when you get back, you realize, oh yeah, I still have to do this. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, of course.
it's kind of like um yeah, it is better that you can focus. So you could, I mean, at that moment, at some point, yeah, there was a pretty hard lockdown even, I think. So anyway, I forgot the exact circumstances, but yeah, of course that there weren't, for example, any restaurants open, or not that many. I forgot what exactly happened, but yeah, it anyway, the boring time. So lots of time to focus. Let's just keep it to that. And Yeah, and I mean, at least then you can still make music. So it's of course the best thing or the most important thing to me is also Burning Witches, you know, because that's the. Can you still see me? Because I see a poor connection. It's always good, all right.
That's good. That's
It's
very
good.
important.
Oh, okay.
And so I just listened to the first single off the album, "Flight of the Valkyries." That's a really great song, by the way.
Thank
Uh,
you.
what is the meaning behind "Flight of the Valkyries"? Did you write it, or did one of your bandmates write it?
Um, well, I write all the lyrics and the melodies of the singing lines and stuff like that. But yeah, the meaning, yeah, it's just Flight of the Valkyries. It's one of the Norse mythologies,
Hmm.
and I really love that it you know is really a fun depiction of you know that these creatures, the Valkyries, they can actually be pretty fierce, and they're sometimes thought of as girls that would bring beer around in Valhalla, but actually they were seen sometimes as evil spirits, and they would not only just help them in the battlefield or choose them, but they would actually kill them because they wanted them for the army of Odin. So that's pretty badass. So I thought, hey, this is cool. I'm going to write about this specific thing.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Well, maybe hopefully one of these songs will be featured off the new Thor movie, which comes out next year. Because
Ooh, that would be cool. Yeah. Who knows?
yeah, you got Chris Hemsworth coming out with his axe, and he's like cranking up "Flight of the Valkyries." Like, who's next? I've lost weight. Who's next?
I haven't seen anything yet, but I'm definitely going to watch it because I really enjoyed that movie. Yeah,
So did I. I love that. I love that series.
yeah,
So besides "Flight of the Valkyries," I'm looking at a list of the songs on here. I haven't got the album yet, but you got "Winter's Wrath," "We Stand as One," "Omen," "Nine Words," "Hail to the Mountain King."
yeah.
Which songs off this album would you say are the standalones that you're very proud of?
I'm definitely proud of We Stand as One because it's just a really fun metal hymn. What you know, which I'm hoping from that just everyone will join. Well, with just singing along and stuff like that. Um, yeah, kind of. Those are always the fun things to do live, right? So I always I like I like it when the audience can join a bit, and I'm kind of hoping that Thrall is maybe a song that people can mosh along to. So we'll see what happens. And yeah, I think I'm also pretty proud of yeah, Nine Worlds. It's kind of a really epic storyline of Ragnarok, you know, so all the nine worlds fall, and so you only got setlist, you didn't even see the lyrics yet, etc.
No, I haven't yet.
Ah, oh, that's weird. I mean, I think you should actually have gotten the songs, but like all the interviewers before this day, they all had the songs. Kind of, yeah, weird that you didn't. I'm going to ask that. Why not? But anyway, I'll try to explain a bit. So we chose really, you know, deliberately for this album to have really epic storyline songs on there. And yeah, you can definitely see that. I mean, normally we have an intro and an outro, but now there's even an intro in the middle, and the songs are a little bit more complex song structures, but to really, you know, serve the storyline on the songs. And not all of the songs are like that, but yeah, Nine Worlds is definitely one of them, and I totally love it because it starts very, yeah, it's just like Valkyries. Actually, there's a lot of dynamics within the song, and I think that's fun. But it has a super catchy chorus, so you probably also want to listen to it more times, you know. So it's nice, yeah.
All right, well, that's something to look forward to for sure. Growing up, what would you say? Who would you say was the band or the singer that really influenced you to pick up a microphone and give it all you got?
Ah, ooh, that's a good question. I actually started with guitar because I just liked guitar, you know, metal music or rock music in general, especially metal. And yeah, one thing that's always comes back is the guitar solos and stuff like that. That really,
Sure.
I just really love that. But yeah, I kind of also sang along at some point. I wasn't as good as I hoped, and of course, to be honest, I probably didn't had an idea how to practice it, So I was
Sure.
just, yeah, I don't know if YouTube already was that active. I don't think so, actually. So basically, I was just having this book that I tried to, do some tabs with. Oh yeah, I looked at tabs. That's what I did. So I downloaded the tab, I printed it, and then I tried it. And oh, I don't know. I think it was a really tough start. Maybe maybe I could do it now because I can actually play the chords. It's getting a bit easier. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I switched to singing. I was more happy with the result when I sang.
Well, that's good.
So yeah.
Well,
And sorry.
Oh no, you were gonna say?
Yeah, I was going to say you asked who inspired me, but the thing is that it's just difficult to inspire to pinpoint it because, for example, I mean I forgot kind of the timeline, what really triggered me, but I do know that, for example, the riffs like Thunderstruck from AC/DC.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I learned that one, so I probably still can kind of play that one, but yeah, that's kind of the only thing. So some
Sure.
chords, but yeah.
You can't go wrong with Thunderstruck.
No, yeah, it's a cool song, really cool song.
Yeah, and what'd you think of the last AC/DC album, Power Up?
I didn't hear it yet. What do you think?
Oh, what? You've been living under a rock? I mean,
I'm sorry.
no, that's fine. I'll tell you. Let me just sum it up in one word: epic.
Yeah, okay, I will listen.
It's your typical AC/DC record. Obviously, they don't change it up, but it's still just fun rock and roll to enjoy, and they really kick it.
Yeah, exactly.
And they really do Malcolm proud with this one.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, nice. I'll listen to it. Yeah, the funny thing is actually, I had to cancel a gig I would do. Also, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Because okay, so I had to actually cancel a gig when I entered Burning Witches because I had to practice so much for the new songs. There's no way I could have practiced for both set lists because the other set list was also new and it was from an all-female AC/DC tribute from Switzerland.
Oh.
And the chances of that are so small, but it's really funny. So one Swiss band asked me, and then the next Swiss band asks me, like, and I don't even get asked by bands in the Netherlands, so that's really funny. Right? Yeah, it's just really peculiar. But yeah, apparently there are not enough female singers of classic stuff in Switzerland. So
well, sounds like you're going to be changing that around pretty soon.
Yeah, I guess it. I guess now it's fixed. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Laura, obviously, the pandemic's starting to let up just a little bit, and there's already talk of festivals and shows getting underway, both overseas and in the United States, which is where I am. Does Burning Witch have any dates set up for them for this year, or are you going to wait till the following year?
Yeah, we're going to wait till the following year for gigs. I mean, this year maybe some loose gigs, but kind of on short term, so short notice. So we really know that we can do it and that there are no restrictions and stuff like that. So we had to cancel, so those kind of things. So we probably wait for all the rest for next year.
I can respect that. I mean, my heart is a little broken because I was hoping you'd come down here,
No, that America is, it's definitely not possible because then you need to do a whole tour and you need to be very sure again and plan ahead, etc. So, sorry, I know my heart is also a little bit broken, but yeah.
C'est la vie. I will wait for you for next year.
All right.
Okay. Well,
that's
Laura,
a good compromise, right?
Yeah, that's a good compromise. So, Laura, say you're trapped on a desert island. To keep yourself from going insane, what would be the 3 records that you would bring with you?
And
it could be anything.
Okay. Well, in that case, I probably try to find some, collection albums like best of this era or something. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And the reason why is if I only have 3 albums to listen to and I'm really stuck for the rest of my life, I rather have 3 albums with, all different artists, I guess, than 3 albums from one artist, if you know what I mean, like 3 real
Sure.
albums. I think so. I would, if it can be anything, I would probably choose something like best heavy metal, best modern. Yeah, okay. I don't like core, but more melodic, modern melodic metal, and then another one with just maybe relaxing stuff. Maybe not metal, something like that. But to be honest, okay, no, there also have to be some loud stuff on there because can you imagine not being able to listen to anything else anymore the rest of your life? So probably maybe like also a Dimmu Borgir song or something on there. A little bit of Nightwish maybe. I don't know, but it would be very versatile anyway.
That's a really interesting answer. Never had anybody wanted to put a compilation list
Yeah, I
together
mean,
for
yeah,
albums.
you made it like, I felt like I wasn't forbidden to say so. So
Yeah. Hey, it's your list, and it's a good choice.
yeah,
For me, I
because
personally.
oh, sorry, yeah.
No, no, why don't you go first?
Yeah, because you told me I shouldn't get crazy, right? So I think actually the only way to is to keep it as versatile as possible because I'm already getting crazy in lockdown and I can still do pretty cool things, but I'm already getting crazy. So can you imagine being on an island?
Oh,
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
absolutely.
So
Huh.
yeah.
Well, for me, Laura, my picks would be Pearl Jam's 10.
Hmm.
Um, I would probably go with Pantera's Vulgar Display of Power.
Nice. Yeah, I also love that one.
No,
It's the
actually, I'm going to
one.
change that. I'm actually going to change that. Cowboys from Hell.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I was wondering because most people choose that one over the other. Yeah.
Well, it's because I remember Cowboys from Hell has Psycho Holiday on there.
Ah, okay.
That's
Yeah.
like that's my favorite Pantera song. Psycho
Ah,
Holiday.
yeah, and or else you would, yeah. So you also need a compilation album, basically. Best of
Maybe.
Pantera.
And
Yeah.
my third one, and this is a tie between Van Halen's Van Halen 2 and For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge.
Okay.
So you got one David album and one Sammy album. So that's
All
how
right.
I roll. But I always go with Sammy a little more.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking as you say you used to play guitar and you still probably do every now and then. How sad were you when you heard the sudden passing of Eddie Van Halen?
Yeah. I mean, so many people die. To be honest, it doesn't really hit me, but um, yeah, it doesn't hit me. But sometimes, I mean, Van Halen is a cool band, but it was not something that I really, really, really wanted to see. But I would be sad if I still want to see some band and they die and I didn't see it, then I would be sad. But Van Halen is more like it's okay for me, But I
Oh,
know it's a
shame on
legend.
you.
I know, but I just don't. Most of the time, I don't doesn't really hit me, and then everyone's posting in over about it. Of course, it hit me a little bit more with Linkin Park, to be honest, because that's from my youth.
Oh,
Uh,
trust me, Chester's death really hit me too.
Yeah, but that's also because he killed himself, so it's kind of extra sad. But normally I'm not hit that much because uh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a psychopath. Don't worry, but I don't really feel it that much. But I mean, yeah, it's sad. I never saw him live, so that would have been nice, of course. But yeah, for me it's okay. I'm sorry, but it's. I mean, I would have rather have him lived, of course. Let's just make that clear, though.
Sure. Fort,
Yeah.
Fortunately for me, but unfortunate for you, I got to see him in 2012, and it was one of the best shows I've seen. I went home feeling satisfied that I got to see the king of the tap technique.
Yeah. Exactly. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Laura, we got time for one more question. This is kind of a big one, so let's see if you can get this one. You ready?
Let's do it.
Who did you prefer listening to growing up? The Beatles or the Rolling Stones?
Rolling Stones, like definitely, because I listened to it growing up because my parents listened to it, so I know what I'm talking about, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I go with the Stones too, because I always like the way they transcribe their blues rock with different genres, and it always came out really cool.
Yeah, it's less soft. Yeah, the Beatles are too soft for me. I mean, I love it's because it's funny. I love the Yellow Submarine, but that's it.
That is like the one song my mom cannot stand.
Really, yeah, I mean, it is a really annoying song. I agree, but
Yeah.
kind of,
See,
yeah.
she grew up on the Beatles, but she likes the early day stuff, and I actually like the later day stuff. She's like, "Oh, so you like them when they were on drugs?" I'm like, "No, I like them when they got creative." And she's like, "Oh yeah, on drugs." I'm like, "Okay, whatever, mom."
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Plus you get a kick out of this. My grandfather, who's a pastor today, he actually got to open up for the Stones back in the '60s.
Wow.
Yeah, it was one of those three shows a day thing. It was in Pennsylvania, hot summer day. He's always looking fresh in a suit, and he's got his acoustic guitar. He's like a Christian Frank Sinatra with a guitar, and
Mm.
and every time he was done, the Rolling Stones would go on, and they would play in the same outfits over and over again, and they're sweating their balls off because they know how they perform, and it's a hot day.
Yeah.
So my grandfather says on the last show,
Uh-huh.
he's got a brand new suit on. He's looking fresh, looking dapper. He does his thing. He gets off stage, says hi to the Stones. As he walks by them, he smells them like they smell terrible backstage. So so the manager goes up to him and says, "Hey, listen, we've been getting these complaints about you guys stinking back here because of your clothes. Would you mind changing outfits before you head out there for your last gig?" They're like, "Oh, sure, no problem." So a few minutes later,
They're
they
just
go out.
used to it.
Yeah. Oh
Oh
yeah.
shit.
So a few minutes later, they go out there to do their thing, and my grandfather was there to watch, and he can say that this is true. They just switched with each other's outfits.
Seriously? They didn't have anything else with them either. Oh my god. That's
I,
really
I get
funny.
I get a kick out of that story. That's a really cool rock and roll story.
Yeah, that's really funny.
So my
Yeah,
grandpa has
it
seen
gets horrible. Yeah. You have
yeah.
to
So my grandpa has seen a thing or two in the music business.
nice.
It doesn't get more rock and roll than that for him.
No, this is definitely yeah, kind of the things they leave out of the most of the times, but definitely a true thing. Sweaty
Exactly.
clothes, yeah, they can be a big problem.
It it can be.
Yeah,
It can
they
be
can be. Yeah,
depending on where you are in the room.
yeah. I mean, you have to kind of, sometimes I would wash some clothes by hand, and at some point it just doesn't work anymore. You just need a washing machine, and everyone hates you because it's smelly. I know. And then I'm at a group with all girls, so if someone smells, everyone hates you, Then it's not like, oh, let's just switch to other smelly clothes. That just doesn't happen. So yeah, but yeah, I don't take that particularly shirt with me anymore because I know there's no way to clean it.
Well, there you
I'm sorry, yeah, seriously. So
yeah. Well, try being in a band with Zach Wild because he's notorious for always wearing the same thing over and over again and not really taking a shower until he gets home.
oh no, yeah, it's kind of probably how it used to go. But I mean, these days it's pretty well arranged. We didn't had. I think on the last tours we kind of always make sure we have a shower. You know what I mean? So, but I guess they they got into the habit of not caring too much. So that's
Yeah.
some yeah
At some point, you got to care about your hygiene because
yeah.
otherwise, fans are going to be like putting clothespins over their noses, and that's not pretty to see out there.
Yeah, no.
Uh, Well, Laura, thank you very much for speaking with Uncivil Revolt. It was great getting to know you. and I can't wait to hear the rest of this album when I get my hands on it.
Yeah, cool. I'm yeah, I will ask. Maybe she will still send it because it's that sent to everyone else. So I'm really curious why today not. Maybe yeah, I don't know.
It's just probably delayed. Kirsten from Nuclear Blast. I love her. She's probably getting swamped right now. I get it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but I'm just confused because I would think it's like like a mail, like you do a personalized text and then you just copy paste with a link or something. So I'm kind of surprised that it went wrong, but whatever.
It happens.
Yeah, okay, can happen.
Yeah. Well, this was Laura from Burning Witches, and be sure to go get their new album, The Witch of the North, which hits stores August. Oh no, excuse me, May 28th, and
Yeah, you can actually.
which is Memorial Day weekend in my territory.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
What do you do with Memorial Day? Is it
Well,
for
it's for the troops. It's our way of saying thank you for the sacrifices that they made, both those that are no
yeah.
longer around and those that are still here. It's a way to honor them.
Oh yeah, cool. Okay, so it's like a holiday and an honoring day.
Yes, it is both. It's a holiday and it's a way to remember. Both my grandfathers, both served in the military.
Cool.
My mom's dad was in World War II, and my dad's dad was in the Korean War.
Nice.
Yep. So I always thank them for their hard work and just doing what they
Yeah.
can for country.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it, so I'm happy there are people that want to, you know what I mean? Crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. Yeah. Cool. All right. So actually when you said in store, I was like, yes, in store. But it's all you can pre-order it at 28th of May. We also have a really cool live stream and you can just watch it. It's organized by the Wacken open air organizers. So it's going to be a really, really good stream. So definitely watch your release stream.
You heard it from
28th.
Laura. You heard that from Laura. So go watch that live stream and when you can. If you don't, she will put a curse on you.
Oh yeah, watch out. But also you just curse yourself, by not seeing it because it's from the Wacken crew, it is high quality stream. We're so happy that we can be part of it. So
Well, I'm glad you are a part of it. Well, Laura, thank you again for speaking with us. You stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you come to the United States, and so that way we can rock out with you.
Yeah, thank
You
you
and the
for
girls.
having me. Yes, all right. See you as soon as possible.
All right. Well, you take care of yourself and rock on.
Take care.
Take care.